G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Flashlight Crazy. Today I'm reviewing two Thrunites and I'm comparing the Thrunite Catapult Pro in the SFT70 LED and the Thrunite Catapult V6 in the SST70. Let's check them out. All right, so here they are. Let's check the boxes. So the V6, you're going to get holster, charger, lanyard, and user manual. So holster, not a bad holster, lightweight, got a stopper at the bottom there, which is good. So obviously that's gonna go in like that, close it over. What do we got? We got a single loop. So I would have liked a double loop, single loop and a plastic little clip there. Would have liked a double loop, would have liked a metal clip, but you don't always win them. But it's a nice holster, good Velcro, fairly strong. User manual, USB-C to USB-A charging cable. That is going to charge back here in your charging port there, USB-C. It is rather deep. That's nice to see. Have a look. Where are we? So that is not a very large lip on that. I would have liked to see a better lip on that. We will check the water resistance, but I would have liked to see a better lip on that. And what do we get here? So, yeah, Thrunite's really good at this. They always give you spares of stuff. So they do give you, what do they give you? 2 spare O-rings. They give you a lanyard, nice lanyard. They give you a spare like under area for your side switch, which is really cool, like spare rubber under area. You get a little key ring for perhaps the lanyard. And you get 2 spare rubber seals for your USB-C port, which is pretty cool. All right, Catapult Pro, you're going to get the exact same stuff. You're going to get a holster, identical holster. So how does that go in? Yep, that goes in like that. Again, 1 loophole, not 2, and a plastic clip thing. Catapult Pro user manual. Again, USB-C to USB-A cord, and again, charging in here. And again, we have a rather deep area, which is nice, but not a very, where are we? Not a very deep lip. So I just, some torches have like really, really thick lips where you just think like, oh, how on earth is water going to get through that? Whereas, the thin lips, even if the port is deep down, the thinner the lip, the more concern I have really. But you're going to get the exact same stuff. So the accessories are identical. Now, let's check the batteries to see if they're identical. So, one there. One there. So, look at that. 5,000 milliamp hours, 26,650, 26,650, both 3.7 volts. So, there we have it. Exact same batteries. Nice, beastly batteries. In it goes. Now we have springs at both ends, the bottom ends of the bodies, and that's what you're going to get there. So that's just the circuit board and all the good stuff. All right, so in terms of feel, what feels better to hold? Well, at first glance and first feel, I am going to say that the Pro feels better to hold. For me, the reason being is that it's a bit longer. So we do have a bit more height on the Pro. We do have a larger head on the Pro as well. So the V6 fits nice and snug inside that head. So there we have the SFT70 over here. And we have the SST70 here. Maybe that's a better shot. Get some light on it. Actually, that's better. So the SST70 here and SFT70 here. Now, holding either of these lights with my thumb rested comfortably on the side switch, as you can see, my pinky doesn't get a touch on the V6, whereas my pinky just gets a touch on the Pro. It is more comfortable to hold the Pro, but only by a hair, by a bee's you-know-what. Because the thing is, I am not uncomfortable in either. It's just that the extra length on the body of the Catapult Pro is just a little bit more comfortable. However, the body knurling and finishing on the V6 is much better than on the Catapult Pro. So the Catapult Pro, it has these kind of rough edges like this, and they're not sharp and cutting me, but they're rough. They're not as comfortable and smooth as this. And this, the V6, is smooth, yet grippy, yet comfortable. It feels good, man. I like it. I do like it. So for that reason, I like the Catapult V6 better than the Pro in the feel of it. Comfortable, I like the Pro, but the feel of the body, I like the V6. Now, if we just stack them up next to each other like that, so you do see there is a bit of a difference in height as well. And as I showed you, the heads are very, very different. Now, both smooth reflectors, although much larger smooth reflector in the Catapult Pro. All right, let's do dimensions. We'll start with weight. Now, I wonder if with the battery, this will be too much for the scales. Yep, so that means definitely this. Okay, so what I'll do is take the battery out, and Thrunite says that the Catapult V6 without the battery is 203 grams. So the battery weighs 101, let's say, 101 grams. So 101 plus 203 is 304. Now, Thrunite says that the weight of the Catapult Pro without the battery is 206 grams. So 206 grams plus 101 grams is going to be 307 grams. So 307 grams over here versus 304 grams over here with the battery included. There we go. There's a little bit of quick math for you. Hopefully I didn't stuff that up. All right, so the length of the Catapult V6 from head to tail is 138.53 millimeters, whereas the Catapult Pro is 150.9 millimeters. Now, the body of the Catapult V6 is 32.48 mil, whereas the Pro is 32.56 mil. Not much in it there, but the head. So the head of the V6 there is 58 mil, and the head of the Pro is 65.36 mil. So you are definitely going to get some extra throw in the Catapult Pro, not only just because of the LED, but because of the size of the head and the size of the reflector. Okay, let's do some outputs. So from off, pressing and holding, you're going to get your ultra low. Now, this is Firefly mode. Now, Firefly mode over here in the V6 is 0.3 lumens, and you will get that for 70 days. Firefly mode over here in the Pro is 0.7 lumens, which you'll get for 42 days. Okay? Now, here's a big difference between these two. One of them is going to step up, the other one is going to ramp. But watch what happens when I push and hold the Catapult V6. Press and hold, it steps. Now, press and hold the Catapult Pro, nothing. So, see, that's just locked it out. So I'll unlock it. Okay, so you can't step from Firefly mode in the Catapult Pro, whereas you can in the V6. If I want to get into the stepping mode of the Pro, I need to turn it off and then single click turn it on. But the Catapult Pro does not step. It has ramping, infinity low and infinity high. So let's get it to infinity low. There it is there. Okay, so now these are the lowest modes apart from Firefly mode in both of them. The V6 over here in the green tint is 31 lumens, which you'll get for 86 hours. The Catapult Pro over here in the cool white is 42 lumens, which you'll get for 53 hours. Now, press and hold the V6 and it steps. Now you've got medium mode at 270 lumens, which you'll get for 9 hours. But if I press and hold the Pro, it just ramps. So there's no in between. It's just going to ramp. Now that is Infinity High. And Infinity High is 1,482 lumens. You'll get that for 24 minutes. Then it drops down to 909 lumens. You'll get for an additional 2 hours. But with the Catapult V6, it's still got some stepping to do. So press and hold, back to low. Press and hold, medium, high. Okay, so if you noticed that when I let go from medium earlier and didn't continue to step, it then won't take me straight to high. It'll take me back to low. So to get to high, you have to intentionally press and hold and wait for it to step all the way up to high before letting go. If you let go before high, next time you step, it'll go back down because it doesn't want to send you straight to high if you don't need it. It's actually cool. I like that about this driver. Now, high mode on the Catapult V6 is 1,417 lumens. So not much less than the Pro. But you will get that for 102 minutes. So you get more runtime in the Pro and more lumens. Now, if I press and hold, it is going to cycle back to low. So what I need to do to get to turbo is double click. 1, 2. Now, the turbo mode on the Catapult V6 is 2,836 lumens. And you're going to get that for 220 seconds. Then it's going to drop down to 1,313 lumens, which is cool to see, 1313 lumens. Which you'll get for an additional 89 minutes. Now, here's the kicker, right? Press and double click on the Catapult Pro gets you to turbo. And I'll just turn this off. Turbo in the Catapult Pro is 2,713 lumens, so about 100 lumens less, 120 lumens less, but you get that for 9 minutes. And then it drops down to 961 lumens, which you get for an additional 90 minutes. So 9-minute turbo over here, 220-second turbo here. So that's really strange because the lumen outputs are not very different. So I don't get that. Now, on the highest output, the Catapult V6 is going to give you 692 meters because it is 120,000 candela. The Catapult Pro on its highest is going to give you 1,005 meters, over a kilometer. And that is because it is pushed out by 252,500 candela. Both lights are 1.5 meter drop resistant and IPX8 2 meter water submersibility. So there you have it. They are the main differences in outputs and run times. I guess the two main differences that I noticed with these two is stepping versus ramping, as well as a 9-minute turbo runtime versus about a 3.5-minute turbo runtime over here. So, but let's just take a look at that tint again, man. So let's get it up to high. That tint is not very pretty around the house. You don't really notice it outside, but around the house, that green tint is kind of weird. So let's get them both back on low. And we'll just infinity. No, I want to infinity ramp the other way. Okay, now look at that. So that's what you get in the inside the house. It's not pretty, man. It's really nice to see, cool white in this one. I wouldn't mind like neutral white, but that green tint is just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not attracted to it. Although, guys, we don't all have to be white wall hunters. In fact, we're not all white wall hunters. And there are some people who actually use lights and never point it at their wall to see the tint. They just use it. So if you're one of those people, it's not going to bother you this. But, for me, when I'm doing reviews and things like that, and I see that different tint, I definitely prefer the cool white over the green tint. All right, now, before we go to night shots, when I was doing night shots last night, I did feel both of these heat up, but one more than the other. Let's do a heat test and see how they go. So let's start with the Catapult Pro, and we'll just give it probably, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Let's really let it heat up and see how we go. All right, 53.4 degrees Celsius on the Catapult Pro, and the heat, it is coming down the body, but it is localized to the neck, and it is hot, man. Ooh, yeah, it is hot. Let's put that there to relax. Okay, now the V6. What do you got? Let's go. All right, 47.6 after a minute and a half. So both was exactly a minute and a half. And again, it is localized to the neck. but not as hot. So this is really, really, really weird to me, man, because you saw the step down. I saw the step down. It happened very quickly in the V6. No step down in the Catapult Pro because 9 minutes versus, 220 seconds. But this didn't get as hot as the Catapult Pro. And this this has 100 more lumens, but it has nowhere near as the amount of candela. Both have the same batteries. It's got to be something to do with the emitters. It's got to be maybe that the SST70 needs to step down quicker, otherwise it will burn out quicker. That's my guess. My guess would be to protect the emitters, this thing's stepping down more quickly. But that is just a guess. So I'm not overly sure. Okay, so just to recap, we've got a turbo here of 2,836 lumens, a turbo here of 2,713 lumens, but we have a max runtime before a step down here of 220 seconds and a max runtime before a step down of 9 minutes here. Apart from that, they're both pretty similar. One steps, high, medium, low. One ramps, infinity high, infinity low. 692 meters distance, 1,005 meters distance. Apart from that, they're both pretty much the same. However, let's go outside now, see how they do in the night shots, because this is where you're going to see the major difference in how these two lights operate. You're going to see one give you better spread of light and one give you just a phenomenal hotspot for some really good distance. All right, see you in a sec. All right, there is the Thrunite Catapult V6 in the SST70. And that is the Thrunite Catapult Pro in the SFT70. SFT70, Catapult Pro, SST70, V6. So, what are we looking at? More of a mixed beam here. A lot of light, but more of a mixed beam. Whereas that is just solid beam. Very, very tight hot spot. Screaming hot in that tree. Check that out. SST70 engulfs the entire tree there. SFT70 doesn't get the entire tree, but it's got more brightness focused into that hotspot, so you're getting a better clarity or a better clear picture. SST70 gets it all. SFT70 gets part of it, but more clearer. SF. And I'm blinding that cyclist, I shouldn't do that. So we got SFT70 over here, SST70 here. So, more light, more of a mixed beam here. Whereas here it's more focused into, so it's going to get further, obviously. But that tree shot, that's the money shot, man. SFT70. SST70. Now, I got to say, the SFT70, the Catapult Pro, is heating up on the handle, on the body. Now, the Catapult Pro, this one, SFT70, is heating up on the body. The SST70 is not so much heating up on the body. So, SF. God, what do you like better? SS? SF. I mean, if you want... Okay, so the distance, you're going with the SF. Absolutely. If you want distance, you're going with the SF. If you want more of a broad spectrum of light and distance, or far distance is not too much of an issue for you, then you go on the SS, surely. I mean, it's still getting the tree, the SS. It's getting it very well. It's just that the SFT40 is... just getting it with some more clarity. And I like the cool white better than the tint that the SS has got. I don't particularly like the SST40's tint. I do prefer the SF there. Amazing lights. Absolutely incredible. All right, there's someone walking there. And now you can still see them, but see them less. Someone walking their dog. All right. I'm out of here. See ya. Holy moly, man. It is a tough decision. Okay, firstly, let's talk night shots. So in that, the SFT70, you are getting a tighter hotspot and you're getting more throw. Simple as that. The clarity of hotspot, it trumps the SST70, of course. But in that, there it is, the SST70, what you're getting is a larger hotspot, a more evenly spread of light. In the lower outputs, you are getting a weird tint, and on green grass, that's not going to worry you, but indoors or something like that, it does look quite green. So it just depends on whether you can deal with that or not. Now, the choice between these two is going to depend on two questions. Question one is going to be, how far do you want to be able to see with one of these guys? Question two is, where do you want to see? Because if you are somebody who is thinking, look, I need a light for the back fence of my farm or of my property or whatever, I want to be able to run along the fence line and check for things, but I want to see far away and I want to see a specific area in far away, then I would suggest the Catapult Pro. I would. But if you're someone who's like, look, I want a light that can, see ages away, no worries, but I want a light where I can kind of point it in a direction and I can see the lay of the land better. And if that's the light you want, then it's the V6 that you want over the Pro, guaranteed. Because the mixed beam effect that this light has, the V6, is just splendid. It is superb. To be able to just click and you've got so much light to the peripherals of the very, very large hotspot, it makes it a lot easier to be able to identify anything in a very wide area. Whereas the Catapult Pro is just, it's your spotlight, man. Like, yeah, it gives you spill, but it's your spotlight. So you want to be able to click that and see very far away and see clearly very far away. And that's what this is for. So it depends on what you want. I can't choose between the two because I do think it's like apples and oranges, man. It's like saying, I can't say, well, the Pro is better because the Pro's not better for seeing a wider area of space. And I can't say that the V6 is better because the V6 is not better if what you want is distance and clarity of distance as well. So I'm not sitting on the fence, everybody. I'm not sitting on the fence, but I truly cannot pick a winner because they are so different. Now, if you are somebody who is not too concerned about clarity of distance, but you want enough distance and you still want a good spread of light, go the V6 because the Pro doesn't trump the V6 by much in terms of distance and all that. As you saw in the night shots, you've got that big tree, right? The V6 covers the big tree and you can see everything in it, but the Pro, it covers a smaller area of the tree, but it shows it more clearly. It just does. So, if there's like 5 or 6 koalas in there, you would see it clearly with this. If you shone the V6 at it, you might be like, oh, is that 4 or 5? So, and then you might have to get a bit closer. But it really just does depend on what you want. Now, price isn't going to come too much into it. What do we got here? We got the Pro coming in at $140 from lightshop.com.au and the V6 coming in at $115, which is the Desert Tan edition, but the black edition's $110. So, $30-35 is in it. I got both because they're freaking awesome, but it just depends on what you want. As I said, price shouldn't come too much into it, guys. Lightshop's got great prices. I love Lightshop. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Until next time, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.